Hello everyone, Neon here. I am here to talk about the new patch notes that just dropped. I actually recorded a gameplay video that was a little crummy, but it's going to be totally obsolete now because we just got new patch notes. Hooray! I didn't give you a update on like my thoughts on the last patch because I was actually really sick. I played a lot over that course of time, so I was really familiar with the patch. I actually got Lord over the course of that time too, so that was fucking baller. I had a blast with that patch. It was broken as shit in a lot of regards, but we have update notes now for the new patch. So I am though, like, while you haven't seen very many videos over the course of that patch with me, I've been playing a ton, so I know what's going on. And the game's kind of like what I'm trying to allude to. So this is all just like quality of life stuff. I think that the only thing here that I saw that looked particularly interesting was come back. Why do I always go through this in the client? It is not good to go through it in the client. But like units prefer to target heroes with rather than summons with their abilities, but they will target a summon if there's no other available targets. This is good. This is just like a minor thing that makes summons slightly less good, which they've been really good. Arc Warden got totally reworked. Attack speed changed from 0.59, 0.67, 0.77 to 111. So that's faster attack speed. Maximum mana changed from, so he no longer has a mana ability. So actually how it works now is it temples a double, he just creates a copy of himself at the beginning of combat, and like it's an entire copy of itself except for the fact he doesn't have this ability. So Arc Warden now is you just have two copies of him whenever you have him in play. He's a kind of a better unit overall, so he's much less usable. Now, like Arc Warden was busted before. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, he was good. Like, you had to put the work in to get a good Arc Warden build, but Arc Warden was disgusting when he went off. This was part of my my ride to master involved some Arc Warden as part of the strategy. So happy to get a rework here. He's also going up to tier 4. Interested to see if they change anything to going down from tier 4 to tier 3 in exchange for this. So that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Maybe Marana. Just thinking ahead of time though. No, it wouldn't be Marana. Clockwork. His armor has been upgraded to 10, 13, 15. Maximum health changed from 8, 16, 32, 9, 50, 18. He is tanky as fuck. Holy shit, this guy is going to be impossible to kill. Okay. Quick thought on Scrappies. Like, Scrappies, in my opinion, were just unplayably bad in the last patch. He was so miserable to play them. I saw people trying to, and every now and then they would pop off because they got a bunch of level 3s and such, but they were, like, particularly Clockwork, he was so shitty. He had no purpose. He had no DPS, and he was tanky-ish, but not, like, impressively so. He is now incredibly tanky. Like, he's tankier than the Knights. For example, tankier than Pudge. He has better DPS than Pudge still too. Medusa, attack damage minimum changed from, so got 25 at 25 at the base level, and then that of course multiplies. Attack damage maximum increased as well. So she got a noticeable increase in DPS there. So that's a nice little touch. I don't think that changes the hero fundamentally in like if we need more help for hunters down here, because part of the issue with hunters is that the pathing is really bad. Like both the pathing is really bad in the sense of like getting started on hunters has felt terrible because like you're quite weak and flimsy and you have very low front line in the early game to mid game, and then when you finally get to the late game, it doesn't quite have the punch that you want it to have. This will help a little bit in increasing the punch, but not substantially. So I don't think that this is a huge change to the that strategy quite yet. Still got a lot more to go though. Tinker, attack speed changed from 0.67 to 0.77. Armor changed from 10 to 5. Interesting. Okay. I mean, he was always kind of weird that he was like super tanky and he like looks like he's supposed to be a backline unit and like acts like he's supposed to be a backline unit, like he has infinite range, but he's actually supposed to be played in the front line a lot of the time, especially at the current iteration here. But this is going to the attack damage increase, so this is a huge jump in DPS, massive jump in DPS, because like both increase in attack speed and increase in base damage, massive. So you'll notice that. Tramp Protector, Leech Sea projectile speed change from, this is very minor change. Damage heal from that. Okay, so he's bit better now, but not substantially, which is like fine. Tramp Protector feels a little bit underpowered in my mind. Lycan, Alliance change from human warrior savage to human hunter savage. Oh. I don't know how I feel about this. This is definitely this makes warrior hunters more interesting. Because you compare Tusk with Lycan, and oh my goodness, it works so much better with Hunter's Focus too. Because when you have like the summons, they're going to count towards the Hunter's Focus, because that's what it says here, is that they're also savages, hunter savages. So that is really fascinating. Like this is a nerf to warriors. This is a buff to hunters. I don't quite think that this makes it, you know, all the way there. It's going to make playing some of the savage warriors has been one of the top tier strategies right now. I guess the warriors element of it wasn't particularly as important as the savages element though. So, I don't know how I feel about this. This is a very strange one. I wouldn't have expected, like, I never would have guessed this one. So we'll see how this ends up working out. It's fascinating. Juggernaut attack speed changed from 0.91 to 0.911, 1.25. Min damage change, so he has gotten like some okay-ish buffs at level 2 and level 3. Which doesn't help him a ton, because part of his issue is just he's a little bit lackluster on level 1. So I don't know. Juggernaut kind of stuck still. So we'll see about this. Like it's a little bit of a help. It's not nothing, but it's also not. I don't think that it's enough that it'll make a big difference in your choices around playing Juggernaut. Item changes. Font of Creation. Eidolon HP has been nerfed to 300 across the board, and then Eidolon max damage changed to be rescaled slightly. Okay, I mean, I think that this is fine. I think that actually probably the big issue with the Font of Creation was how difficult it was to remove the Eidolons. So the fact that they're removed, that they've been nerfed now in that particular department is pretty good. So I think that some of the hate around Font of Creation was overstated. But he is, this is, I think, a reasonable way to address it. It's still interesting and it's still playable. It's just not quite as insane. So that's good. Alliances changes. Primordials was the only alliance change, so no change to hunters. Interesting. Level 1, enemy attacking primordials have a 25%. I thought that this would be the one. Not even having the disarm of slowed by 50 attack for each attack. Okay. Chance to have their attack speed slowed by 50 each attack. This effect is applied at the start of the attack and lasts the duration of the attack. Ooh, fascinating. And then the level 2 just applies to the entire team. Okay, so it no longer disarms, it just merely slows the attack substantially. This is a really big nerf to the Primordials Alliance, which was really busted. Having both Razor and Tiny at level 1, and they're both like really good, just base unit. Like you're very happy to have them in your early team compositions, even if they're not like paired. And then when they pair, they are like bananas with having their disarm effects. Like that just totally will determine combat. Like you're still gonna have those moments with this effect here, but it's not going to be nearly as powerful. So overall, I'm going to say that this is a pretty small patch, all things considered. They did not adjust the difficulty of the creep runs, which I'm surprised by. I kind of expected them to decrease the difficulty a little bit for those, but I guess not. Interesting. Okay, so this is a small patch. All things considered, it will change things, particularly in some elements of the early game. I still think that hunters are probably pretty bad, to be frank. So don't jump on that bandwagon. The one that actually does really help with this, in my mind, is also the assassins, because they really struggled against the primordials. So that being a loss is good. Arc Warden got absolutely gutted, as was probably necessary. I mean, I don't know if you needed to do it to that level. Interesting that they did not see a shift of unit cost of anything going from 4 to 3. This means that getting 3 stars of your 3 cost units is going to be much easier. You're going to notice this with things like the knights, particularly. I think is one of the big winners from this as well, because they also were not great against Arc Warden strategies. And because like the Arc Warden strategies could often come online before knights like fully came online, and you can't fall behind Arc Wardens, because you'll just get 20'd or 30'd. So this is fascinating. They didn't do all the changes that I was kind of expecting them to do, so this is a much smaller patch than I was expecting. But anyway, it's really interesting. I'm gonna hopefully try and play one right now and get that loaded up to the channel as well shortly after this one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll hopefully catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. If you want to support the channel, one of the best ways is to check out our Twitch page, where you can subscribe, and you also get emotes like yo, trash, and psst. I'm hoping to bring down the cost of the trash and the psst emotes, but I need more subscribers in order to do that. You can also check out our Patreon, our Discord, and there's links to all of that below. Thank you so much once again for checking us out, and hope to see you in the next video.